So this is a bit random. I am actually on a day off. If I have sort of days off, that sounds a little bit weird, but I do have days off, and I am driving back home down the M5, and I just popped into one of the old shops I used to come into ages ago, which is Maidenhead Aquatics at Cadbury. And I thought I'll just have a look around. Oh my word. I have got 4 empty quarantine tanks at home. I think I'm going to be able to fill them just in this one shop, but well, let me show you around. Okay, so I need to show this tank off first. They've designed this to look like the back of a dinosaur skeleton. How cool is that going to look? They're just getting ready with all their in vitro plants. So I'll probably bring you back up to see how that is growing in a few weeks or months' time, because I think that tank is going to look wicked, and I always love the shark. But we're not here for that. We are here for fish, which is around here. Now, honestly, I had a quick scan around and I was like, oh my word, oh my word, oh my word. There is just so many cool species, and I'm going to miss a lot of them walking around. It is definitely just an absolute treasure trove of different species. Okay, let's just start. Look at these red-tailed penguins. And next to them, Congo puffers. This is what I mean by this shop. It is just rammed with cool species, and even common stuff that I haven't seen in a long time, like opaline gouramis. I don't see them that much in shops anymore, which is a real big shame, to be honest. Some cool blue gouramis, some wild honey style gouramis. So these are like the proper coloured honey gouramis. But there is some just rare stuff kicking about as well, like Cabotii rasboras, clown killies, flagtail panda corydorus. How cute are they? And I haven't seen them in years. Now, I am going to pick up some fish today. I don't know what, because there is just too many. What are they? Are they like golden glow lights? And a cool white betta. Oh, I like him.
They're the albino tetras.
Albino...
Black neons.
Oh, they're albino black neons. Thank you, because I thought they were glow lights, so that is useful that you dropped in. I like them a lot. Well, albino fish aren't normally my thing, but kitty tetras are looking outstanding. Right, but here we go. Wow, look at those. They're probably not Corydorus anymore, are they? Because Corydorus got split up into 1,000 different species. Not 1,000, but you get what I mean. They've got split up, and I haven't been able to keep track of what is what anymore. Scratched Imper tetras would be a great shout. These are like a sort of emperor tetra, but they have these like really cool orange and blue lines on them. Really nice fish. And next to them, another one I've been looking for ages is black arrow tetra. They are really, really nice. Like, I'm not even halfway into the systems. Maybe it's just because I don't get out that much. I don't get to go to shops that much. With having a 4-month-old at the time of filming this and a 4-year-old baby at home, toddler, I don't get to go out that much. So maybe it's just that I'm not spending enough time. Normally when I go to a shop with the kids, it's a rush. It's like, oh, I'll quickly look in there. But today I've actually been able to spend time looking. And again, I've already been in this tank, but look down there. Those are spotted coolie loaches. I have not seen them in so long. There's one over there. They're amazing. And this is a tank that I've already looked in 100 times, and I missed them all. Oh my word, it's going to get expensive today. And this is what I also like to see. I don't know if they've eaten it all now, but they've just gone through and fed a load of bloodworm. You've got these little red-tailed pufferfish in here that are so cool. And then next to them, you've got chocolate gouramis and some wicked spotted rasboras. Like, I don't know even what to buy. Wicked. They are lovely. Checkerboard cichlids. It's just, I don't know. Drop it down in the comments. What are you going to pick out of all this? Marbled hatchets. This is like, I don't even know. And gobies. Look, see those 2 male gobies bickering through the glass. More pufferfish. What am I taking home for these quarantine tanks? What am I taking home? These are amazing. Betta, appy. They are, I can't focus on that one, it's too close to the glass. He is amazing. to be fair, a wild better might not be a bad choice to pick up today. There's some black water tanks that I really want to do, and a little pair of wild betters or wild style betters would be a really nice fit for one of the quarantine tanks. See, there's some others that I didn't realize, like these are betta embellis. You can see one back there. We've still got our male at home in one of the tanks. Maybe we could design a new tank for him, to be fair. And then these, we've got betta hendra. Sorry for the reflections, but wow, just so good. And I haven't seen these in a long time as well. J-barbs. They don't get overly big and they're not that aggressive as well. So a cool choice for a lot of tanks up here. And then we've got some lovely locally bred discus. Not that I've got a tank for these at the moment, but they are nice. And then down here, we have got anostomus. Now, if you watch them, they're actually eating all of the algae. And they've got funny upturned mouths, so you can see them nibbling at all of that blackbeard algae. They are a really, really cool fish. I've said that about 1,000 times in this video already, but there's just so much here to choose from. Like I say, maybe I just don't get out enough. Hello, Mr. Bristlenose. And these are probably going to come home some of the chunkiest pea puffers I have seen in forever. Look at how big they are. They've got another tank of them up here that have just come in. Look at how responsive they are. That's what you want to see in a shop. You know, they're obviously feeding them a lot of good quality frozen foods because they're up and about, they're buzzing around, they're really, really active. Neon gobies. Honestly, I don't know how I'm going to choose. I didn't really plan on buying fish, but I can't. This is like an hour and a bit away from my home. So if I'm going to get them, I'm going to get them today. These orange gobies are really nice. Red lip or lipstick gobies, I think I used to know them as. Really, really cool. Now, this is actually the first time I have ever seen this fish here. And it looks a little bit like a rainbow fish, a bit like a danio. But these are Tanganyikan killifish. Now, if I can get that male in focus there, they are amazing. That is the first time I've ever seen them in an aquarium shop before. Obviously, most of the things that come out of Tanganyika is cichlids, but these are a killifish. And that is just so great to see something really different like that. I don't have a tank for them. Otherwise, I would be taking all of them home today. They are, that male back there, I don't know if I can get them focused, but the coloration on the males, that blue is just outstanding. Oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And even common stuff, like we've just put some of these in our tank. Look at those tiger barbs. They look so good. Loaches. Maybe we could get some loaches for the tank. No way. Can you see them yet? Can you see them if I zoom in? Can we focus on them? There is horseface loaches on the bottom of this tank. Look how well they blend in. Oh my word. This is so cool. I think I'm going to take a horseface loach home. Well, a group of them, because they get big as well. They get quite chunky. That could be a really cool fish to go in a future project. Okay, so from one first, which is some Tanganyikan killifish, to another first that I have never seen. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to focus. Sorry, Mr. Bristlenose. These tiny little things that you see swimming around in front of us are crystal danios. They get to like 1 centimetre long. They are some of the smallest aquarium fish that you can actually possibly buy. And I have never seen them in a shop ever before. They've just been fed a load of cyclops. And that's what the guys and girls say they've been feeding them here. I don't know if this is even going to focus on them. They just look like essentially guppy fry at the moment. But they are some of the smallest aquarium fish. Properly, you know, world's smallest aquarium fish right there, pretty much. Like centimetre, fully grown. Loaches again, zipper loaches. We've got some cool loaches. We move into live bearers then and some cold watery stuff. I think this is which, you know, they've got some lovely rainbow shiner females up here. I can't see many males, but they are really chunky and nice. But I don't really have space for any of these at the moment. Really nice live bearers. But again, I don't have any plans to do a live bearer tank soon. But one tanks, or a few tanks that I want to do soon, is some cichlid tanks. And one of my all-time favourites are these Jack Dempsey's. Now, I don't have tanks for these at the moment. There's plans in place to have some bigger tanks ready for fish like this in the future. But I used to have a pair of these when I was like, I don't know, 12 or 13, maybe 14 years old. And they are just so beautiful. That was my main, like, start in this hobby, actually, was I really got into, like, Central and South American cichlids, some of the ones that are, like, up behind me now. And seeing these takes me back to, like, when I was probably 3 or 4 years old, and my brother had a massive fish tank in the front room, and that was my like first introduction to fish keeping. And that was things like Jack Dempsey's, and I haven't seen any tinfoil barbs here today, but tinfoil barbs, some really, really cool fish. These up here actually are something that I haven't seen in a long time. We used to have a group of them in the stingray tank at Taunton, and I'd love to get a big tropical pond for these sometime in the future for the channel. I think it'd be really cool. Now, again, they have all just been fed a load of frozen food, so it is looking a bit sort of particulate laden in the water, but don't worry about that. It is just frozen food. And it's these guys here. These are true parrot cichlids, these greeny guys. So when you hear of parrot cichlids, you normally think of that like orangey red crossbreed that you get that's called a parrot cichlid. But these were the first to have the name parrot cichlid. These are wild, proper parrot cichlids, and they are so lovely. They get quite big. You know, you're looking probably half of this fish tank. Yeah, roughly about half this fish tank in size. So they're not a small fish. But even, to be fair, the earth eaters that are in with them, they look like standard Steindachnerai, but actually they're gold dust. So they're a Altasinu, so they're a rarer one, which is really, really nice to see. But I absolutely adore these Bulgarian seal point angels. Look at the colours on them, like that greeny sort of, I don't know, shimmery colour with the black fins. They're really, really nice. And then I have also just seen, where did I just see them? In here. Firemouth cichlids. Now, firemouths, you can see them in amongst the diamond tetras here. A lot of the time with firemouths now, you get them and they're really washed out, but you can already see the sort of red throats coming to these. I am really tempted by a group for them. I need a bigger tank though. I need like a 3 foot, but they're small at the moment. So I could put them in a smaller tank and then grow them up. And these are weird. These are like an Amazon algae eater. They look like a flying fox. They're mad, mad swimmers. But again, I've never seen them before in a shop. Maybe I just don't travel around enough, but they are very, very nice. And I know Martin, my friend, would absolutely love these imitator catfish. Look at all them down there. Again, you just don't see fish like this. This is what you need in a shop. It makes it exciting. And some amazing knife fish. I've never, ever heard of them. Like, this is a proper day out. I'm going to spend all day here, I think. Baby shovel noses. Not that you can see them. It's a little bit, again, frozen food floating around in the water. And Durapari, another amazing earth eater. There's just so much. I haven't done around the other side yet. Hang on. I think there's another side to this. Frozen food again. I'm trying to film and you're making all the tanks mucky. You don't mind being on camera, do you?
I don't care.
Oh, good. That's good that you're feeding frozen food, though. Like, oh.
Little monsters.
I want some Oscars. Look at them. And then again, going through cichlids, Texas cichlids. Like, I can see what's going to happen. I'm going to buy loads of juvenile, big cichlids. They're not cichlids. Those are African butterfly fish, but they are very, very cool. But I can see myself buying loads of cichlids that grow to 10, 15 centimeters and not having a tank for them ready. But future, watch this space. We've got some big news coming up. These are actually a really underrated fish. These are T-bars. So you can see the difference between the females and males by the red fins and like the gold and the orange fins. And there again, you know, 10, 15 centimeter fully grown fish, really nice. These are not 10, 15 centimeters. These are green terrors. Look at that male. You're right, Grumpy? Wow. You know, these are like a 20, 25 centimeter fish all day long. They are just a really cool fish. But again, something big. Salvini's, another one, absolute thugs. You can see that one that's just stolen all the food. He has got a super big belly. Royal Acara's another one that gets big, but haven't got space. And this is actually an underrated fish. Convict cichlids. Like, They do breed very, very well once you get them established. But there was a really nice female in here just a minute ago and a really nice male. They might be in that tube in the centre. But one of them was getting this really beautiful orange belly, blue fins. Again, a 12 centimetre fish that I really don't have the space for right now at this precise moment. I could literally pick up like 4 convicts, 4 T-bars, 4 fire mouths, a pair of these green terrors. I need some bigger tanks. I need more space and I need bigger tanks because this is just reminding me of my love. Look at that Royal Panac and green phantoms. This is reminding me of my love for bigger fish. We need to do some bigger tanks on the channel. Obviously, you know, rope fish, they aren't everyone's favourite. They look a bit too snaky for some people, but that would be a really nice fish to have in. And some baby snakeheads. Look at them. They're proper cute. Oh my word. Hoplo catfish. These are a bubble nest breeder. These are really cool. They actually, like gouramis, they sort of build a bubbles nest. Like, oh my word. Ninja woodcats. Hang on a minute. Are you serious? Just down in there. You can't really see them. They look like little baby orcas. Look, there's one underneath. You can see his face. Good grief. And there's things that, like, I didn't see, actually. One of the staff members just pointed them out to me. Around here, there is, like, the Denison barbs in here are beautiful, but that's what distracted me. And babies in here, look. This. Stop. There's a baby jaguar cichlids. And again, they've just been fed. Look at their little fat bellies. Jaguar cichlids get to, like, you know, 45 centimetres, 2 foot. More baby panacs. Right. I'm going to pick out some fish from here. No, I'm not. We've got a marine tank. We need to look at the marine room. On the way to the marine room, I just got distracted by this. Look at it. Literally looks like the Witch King's helmet from Lord of the Rings. Maybe a little bit, you know, pointy bits, spiky bits. Like that. That in a 2-metre pond. Maybe once we increase the size of the garage, that could be an amazing focal point for a tank. But they've got some cool bits. I haven't got much time left, though, to go through all this. And I want fish. I'm going to spend all day here. But anyway, marine room. Before you even get into the marine room, you are greeted by this with all these red anemones. Just looks so cool, doesn't it? Like a proper bit of the reef, just everything waving around. They've all just set up the same tank. Look, they've got the little first wave. I know that's the fluval marine tank. That's the bigger first wave than I've got. And then that's the same size as the one I've got at home. They've just set, well, that one's been set up a while, I think, and these two have just been set up to show off some smaller marine setups, which is nice to see. It gets people into the saltwater hobby. So you've got another beautiful display tank with loads of soft corals in. Like, that's the sort of tank that I like. Really easy to care for, really nice, just a really simple tank. But we've not got space for marine fish at the moment. We need to set up our bigger tank. But again, they have just got some amazing fish. Like these gobies up here. Oh, well, he's gone. Emperor angels, even some garden eels, look. They're all reserved, and I don't know if I can focus on them. And a little jawfish. Just so many. And one fish that I've always loved is things like the lionfish. They are just absolutely stunning. There's another one sat on that rock looking ultimately grumpy. That's another fish I would like to do. Once we've got more space, big tank with some lionfish in, set it up for like a saltwater predator tank would be amazing. But it's cool. Banggai cardinals are a real big favourite of mine. You know, I used to have a hawkfish like that years and years ago. And hawkfish are some of the funniest ones because they sort of perch and watch you. They're just really, really cool. But like I say, haven't got much space at the moment for anything like these. Little orchid dotty back, the same as what's at home. Oh, just love it. Cleaner shrimp. Wow, look at that lobster. Just disappeared behind the rock. You can still see his antennae. They have got some amazing stuff. And look at all the sexy shrimp up here. Look at them buzzing about. How amazing are they? Massive hermit crab. And then some beautiful, beautiful corals. I have got space for corals. I could get corals. This probably this camera isn't designed for this blue lighting, but look at these at Euphilia. Right. Well, we're not getting any marines. This is for another day. But I do think we need some freshwater fish to take home with us because we're here. Why not? It is going to be tricky to pick out what I want. It's so much. I think if I can get some of those baby firemouths, if I can find, I've got a 125 litre quarantine tank. That'd be good actually to set up for them as a grow-on tank. That would work quite well. And then some cool tetras, I think, or some cool bettas. I'm going to stop here. I need to drop into another shop, I think, on the way home if I get time. So have a think, have a guess what I'm going to pick up. I'll show you by the end of this video what we're going to put into the quarantine tanks. Yeah, I need to think about it. I need to get off camera, engage my brain, and think about what we're going to get. So we have just arrived at the second location, which is actually a shop I used to work in for a while, probably a year or so, which is Maidenhead Aquatics, Sanders. And there's one specific fish I wanted to drop in here for, but they also have some cool other stuff. Now, they always have some amazing marines here. And look, well, he's just gone back in, but that is a Randall's goby and a pistol shrimp. So you can see the pistol shrimp lives in the caves, and then the Randall's goby sort of protects him and looks after him. And the pistol shrimp always builds the cave normally. So they are just so cool. And they've got loads of sand sifting snails buzzing about. And I've always wanted to do a tank with feather dusters. These are worms, and that is their head. And they filter feed through their head, so they catch little particles. And just so cool. But yeah, marines, we are not here for. We need to set up a bigger tank for marines. We are here for freshwater. Another cool thing that Sanders always do is crabs. I don't know if you can see him down there, but that is a banana crab. They are so cool. Look at him. He looks angry though. He looks like he wants to try and like eat my finger. But they do have like red ruby crabs and vampire crabs. They always have a cool selection. Look at that one up there. Don't know if I can focus. That's the only problem with crab tanks, is they always condensate and look like hard to see into. But they do have loads of freshwater stuff that we are looking at getting. So things like sparkling gouramis are always a nice choice for like a nano tank. So I've got a few nano tanks coming up in the future, and these you don't often see too much either, which is tin winnie danios. So they're like a small species of danio, really nice, but they only get like 3 centimeters, so really good for like a smaller tank. They are still, you know, shoaling, so you do want a good group of them, but a really cool species. I don't think I have a tank for them at the moment, and I've not spotted what I am looking for yet, but they do. There's some cool fish here. That, weirdly, these are bumblebee platies, and these were the first ever platies I kept. Don't know why that matters, but yeah, they were. That was the first platies I kept, was a bumblebee platy. Where are those fish? Now, I have just spotted one of the fish that I was hoping to bump into, and it's not an overly rare fish, but it's quite a hard fish to find in the hobby because, well, they're just quite sensitive. They often get like an infection, or I guess they've been overbred in a way for their colour, so they're just not as hardy as they used to be. And also, you never get females because the males are colourful, females aren't that colourful. But I think a future project with them would be really cool. And that fish is here. Dwarf gouramis. Now, these are the males. You can see how colourful they are. They are absolutely lovely. I think I'm going to go for like one of the red and blue stripy ones rather than like the cobalt blues. I like them, but I like the red on them a little bit better. Like, look at that boy there. They are so lovely. And then here's the females. Like I say, they're a little bit more silvery, but you know, they're still nice. I really like them. Definitely gonna get maybe, I don't know. I say definitely. I might see other things that I like because they've got like sailfin mollies up here, which are just, the males are showing off to each other, and just a really cool fish. And they also, again, have some wild bettas, some embellis. They look stunning. Look at that coloration. They are beautiful. And this place is a bit hard water. It's a bit more of a hard water area. So they normally do quite a few guppies and live bearers. And these males are actually really cool with the yellow, silver and black. I actually quite like them. No females, unfortunately, which is annoying, but, you know, not the end of the world. And they do have some really, really nice hill streams. Look at them. They are chunky. That's another one that I could add to a quarantine tank for a future project. And then we've got the cold water section, and I just spotted these. These are tricolour gold barbs, so like a man-made form of the golden barb. But look at, there's like silvers, blues, golds. They're really, really striking fish. I don't have plans for anything that would have them in it, so I don't think that's going to be an option. But also these Danio, glow light Danios, I haven't seen them in ages. Hard to focus on because they are fast, but they are a really nice colour as well. You don't often, they're normally more silver than that in the shops. They actually are standing out really, really nicely. And then you go down here, which is another section I wanted to look at, which is all their cichlids. These guys, these are African butterfly cichlids. So they're a river cichlid, not a lake cichlid like the Malawi. So they don't need the hard water like lake cichlids do. They just need, you know, your normal soft water. Actually quite good for a community sort of aquarium. As long as you don't have anything too small and delicate, they normally get on absolutely fine. And I've also just seen some really nice marbled whiptails down in here. Again, there's a lot to choose from. I also just spotted these whitefin bentosi tetras. And my ones at home now are like probably double the size of these little guys. Honestly, I didn't realise how small I bought them. They are, oh actually, here you go, the lights are off, but there's a load of bigger ones up there. So that's the size that mine sort of are now. Crikey, it's quite scary to see how much they have grown. But there is one other section that I thought we would look at, because they have got some really nice coral frags. Like, oh, that is tempting. That, look at that Zoa. Get out of the way, Foxface. Can you see down there? Look. That's amazing. That's a really nice one. Right, I've got to get home because it's getting late and I actually need to get home and do some work. So I'm going to pick up the bits from here, and then the next time you see me, I'll be in the fish garage, acclimatizing everything we've picked up into the quarantine tanks. We are back in the fish room. Now, I haven't filmed acclimatizing them. I got back, it's been like 30 odd degrees Celsius all day. I wanted to get these fish in, acclimatized, cooled down, warmed up, whichever way they needed to go, because, well, there's nothing worse than fish in bags on a really, really hot day. Now, you have to excuse the mess of the fish room because we have been doing some big moves, big moves, moving stuff around, changing stuff about. Some light just went off. We've got to film quickly because it is that late that the lights are starting to dim and go off. So let me show you just some of the fish, not all of the fish, because some of them are secret projects. Let me show you some of the fish, and they're already settling in and looking really good. So I say they're looking really good. I now can't see anyone in this tank. This is just a plant holding tank. Ah, here they come. So this is just a plant holding tank normally. We've got some tiger lotus in here and some anubias and my old tiger lotus and aponegitans that are growing in the pot. Also the haberstacks that I rescued from upstairs. I started ripping plants out of them. But anyway, we have put our little group of fire mouths in here. How great are they looking already? They've been in here, what, 5-6 hours maybe? And they are already looking like they are, well, they're just going to look so cool. They're such a cool fish and properly takes me back to the start of my hobby. There's a couple down in there. We have trashed this tank a little bit because, again, plants had to be thrown in here whilst we were messing around, moving the fish room around. But yeah, it just takes me back. My brother-in-law had these when I was like really young, and they're just such a cool fish. And you don't often see fire mouths with that bright red belly. A lot of them have a wishy-washy sort of greyed out belly. They're just not as colourful as they used to be. So I'm really excited to see these growing up. I think we might strip this tank down and build some cool Central American stream in here, because I could get some of the wild live bearers that Sean at the zoo has, and then we'd have like a Central American style biotope stream sort of thing. I might even look as to what lives with the fire mouths in the wild, maybe some wild swordtails or something. But anyway, that's cool fish number 1. So then cool fish number 2 is living down in this tank, and I'm probably not going to get much decent footage out of them in here, but we picked up a group of those crystal Danios. They're already buzzing about, swimming around. I've put extra filter floss into the front of the filter to block it up so that they can't get stuck in the filter because they are that small. But they are one of the smallest aquarium fish you can get. They are just really, really nice. You know, nothing to look at, but just a cool fish that I can tick off my list. And we've already got a tank for these pretty much ready, just waiting for the plants to grow in a tiny bit more. Yeah, and then we'll be ready to pop them in. It's all mature and everything. So actually, yeah, we're not far away from getting these into their final home. So that video will be out probably around the same time as this. Sorry for the poor footage of them, but hopefully once we get them into a proper planted tank with a bit of plant and somewhere that they can settle down, hopefully they will, well, not colour up, that's the wrong word, but hopefully we'll be able to see them a bit better. And then cool fish number 3 that I'm going to show you is back there. You going to come out, Mr. Man? And that is some of the dwarf gouramis. We have got a little group of them. There's our male there. I don't know if I can get some good shots of him. He's in a sort of semi-black water tank with some plant matter and stuff because they do like building bubble nests and things like that. Here's one of his females. So we've picked up a nice little group of them to go in here for the minute. We'll settle them down in here. And as I said, these can be prone to bacterial infections. So I'm going to keep a real close eye on them. And probably, to be fair, I might even put a little bit of antibacterial treatment in here just as a precautionary measure. There's one of the females let. But we'll build a proper jungly tank for these. Really overgrown, lots of plant matter, lots of hiding spaces. Here he comes. Is he going to be grumpy to her? Probably. Sorry for the awful video, but it's really hard because this tank is sort of in an awkward position. Oh, wow, he is stunning. Again, these were some plants. I made it a bit of an accident. I put these plants in with some fish and the fish liked them a bit too much. So I'm just waiting for these plants to grow back. They're little nymphoids. But yeah, that was a bit of an error on my part. But yep, we have got a group of dwarf gouramis. Very tricky to film in this tank, but they are going to be amazing once we get them into their own tank. So they're the 3 groups of fish you're probably going to see soon on the channel because there's tanks in the works, or, you know, I've got plans to build their tanks fairly soon. So we'll give them a week or two's quarantine in the tanks they're in, and by which time we should have had their new tank set up and mature, because we'll use mature media and mature filters out of other tanks. So those are the 3 groups of fish that you'll see soon. There are some other species that we picked up that I'm not going to show off because they might be a little bit in the future. And I also don't want to ruin the surprise because there is some cool bits and pieces. But I'm definitely going to be going back up because I could have spent just an insane amount today on fish. There is so many cool species that, like I say, I think it's probably that I just don't get out enough and I don't look in tanks enough. When I go to fish shops, you know, I end up chatting to so many people that I don't end up looking in the tanks for long enough. And I think that's what I was able to do today. I was actually able to stand there and go, oh my word, there's a whiptail. There was one row in Cadbury that I didn't actually film, and there was a whiptail catfish in every single tank, like 6 or 7 tanks long, maybe 8 tanks long. There was a whiptail in every single one, chameleons and royals, and yeah, it was just so cool. But yeah, lots more to come on that, lots more to come, different species. We're going to go back up there. I've also got some other trips planned to some other fish shops, so watch that in the future. And if you like this sort of video, let me know in the comments, because this is a bit different. We may do some more. It was a bit off the cuff. I wasn't meant to film it, but here we are. We've got new fish. It's exciting, and I'll see you all in the next one.